Hey, welcome to the channel. So a few weeks back, I did my top 10 best states for gun owners to move to in 2020, and that video got a bunch of comments asking to know what the top 10 worst states for gun owners to move to in 2020 were. So like that video, stay tuned to the end, and you'll see what went into making this video as far as stats and all that. But now let's take a look at my top 10 states that suck for gun owners to move to in 2020. Number 10, Illinois. In the land of Lincoln, you must have a firearms owner ID card before you can possess a firearm or ammunition, and there's a 72-hour waiting period for the purchase of all firearms. Illinois is a shell-issue state when it comes to their CCW permit, but they do allow for discretion by law enforcement that could make you go before a review board to receive your permit. Open carry is prohibited here. 2.52% of Illinois residents have their CCW permit. Illinois honors no other state's CCW permits. Illinois has no magazine restrictions and no assault weapons bans, and they do have preemption on handgun laws, but not for any other guns, so the individual municipalities can impose assault weapons bans and mag limits on guns other than handguns. You cannot own any NFA items here either. In Illinois, there is one gun shop for every 2,418 people. The unemployment rate in Illinois was 11% in August of 2020, and in August of 2019, it was 3.8%. $100 is worth $101.52 there. Illinois is ranked number 21 for the cost of living. Number 9, Rhode Island. The Ocean State is a shell-issue state, but only 0.22% of the population has a concealed carry license. Open carry is legal here with certain permits, at least that's how I understood it, but you might want to check that out. Rhode Island honors no other state's CCW permits, and you're required to have a purchase permit or a CCW permit to purchase a handgun in Rhode Island. Background checks are required for private sales, and there's also a 7-day waiting period on handguns. Rhode Island doesn't have an assault weapons ban and also does not restrict magazine capacity, but NFA items are prohibited. In Rhode Island, there's one gun shop for every 1,728 residents. Your $100 here is worth $101.42. The unemployment rate in Rhode Island was 12.8% in August of 2020 and 3.5% in August of 2019. Rhode Island ranks number 41 for cost of living. Number 8, Delaware. The first state is one of the worst states for gun owners. Delaware is a May-issue state with 2.07% of its population having a carry permit. Surprisingly, Delaware does honor 21 other states' permits. Open carry is legal without a permit for anyone 18 and older who is legally allowed to have a gun. In Delaware, there are no magazine restrictions or assault weapons bans, but machine guns and suppressors are prohibited. Background checks are required for all private sales of guns, unless it's to an immediate family member. In Delaware, there is one gun shop for every 2,782 residents. The unemployment rate in Delaware is 8.9% in August of 2020 and 3.9% in August of 2019. $100 is worth $99.90. Delaware ranks number 35 for cost of living. Number 7, Massachusetts. The Bay State is a rough one for gun owners. They're a May-issue state with 5.81% of the population having a carry permit. Massachusetts honors no other state's permits, and you're required to have a firearms identification card here to purchase guns and ammo. Private sales require a background check. Massachusetts does have an assault weapons ban, and magazines are limited to 10 rounds. Suppressors are illegal here, but you can own some other NFA items, but there's additional restrictions on those as well. Open carry is technically legal here with a permit, but it has been known to get residents' permits revoked for whatever reason, so probably wouldn't do that. In Massachusetts, there's one gun shop for every 1,740 residents. The unemployment rate in Massachusetts was 11.3% in August of 2020 and 2.8% in August of 2019. $100 here is worth $92.68. Massachusetts ranks number 46 for cost of living. Number 6, Connecticut. The Constitution state must have failed to read the actual Constitution, being as they are on this list. Connecticut is a May-issue state, but state courts have ruled that permits should be given out as a shell issue. And 7.5% of the residents here have their carry permit. Connecticut honors no other state's CCW permits. To purchase a handgun, you're required to have a Connecticut pistol permit, and private sales require a background check. Connecticut does have an assault weapons ban and a 10-round magazine limit. NFA items here are legal, but machine guns have to have been registered with the state prior to 2014 to own them. Open carry is legal with a carry permit. There is one gun shop for every 1,934 residents. Unemployment in Connecticut was 8.1% in August of 2020 and 3.7% in August of 2019. $100 is worth $92.59. Connecticut ranks number 43 for cost of living. I want to take a quick break here and remind you, if you're enjoying this video, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. And if you're new here and think I've earned it, consider subscribing. And if this is a video you think someone else will enjoy, make sure you share it out. Now, let's get back to the list. Number 5, Maryland. One of Maryland's nicknames is the Free State, and boy, that couldn't be any farther from the truth when it comes to firearms. Maryland is a May issue state, but one of my buddies that lives there says it's a good luck getting them to issue you one state. And that looks to be true, with only 0.4% of the population having a permit. Maryland honors no other state's CCW permits. If you're lucky enough to get a CCW permit in Maryland, you may open carry with that also. They do require you to have a pistol purchase permit before you can buy a handgun, and they have a handgun registry. And to make matters even worse, they have a handgun roster. Maryland has magazine limits, but those are kind of strange here. I just did a video on dumb gun laws, and that one was on that video, so I'll put a link to that in the description below and you can go check that out. Maryland also has an assault weapons ban. One thing Maryland has going for it is they have no extra restrictions on NFA items, so there is that. In Maryland, there's one gun shop for every 1,772 residents. Unemployment in Maryland was 6.9% in August of 2020 and 3.6% in August of 2019. $100 is worth $91.41 here. Maryland ranks number 44 for cost of living. Number 4, New Jersey. The Garden State pretty much hates freedom. They're a May issue state, but only 0.01% of the population has a CCW permit, so they might as well call themselves a we don't issue permit state. New Jersey recognizes no out-of-state permits, and if you happen to have one of the 1,000 permits the state has issued, you are not prohibited from open carry. Firearms purchase permits are required here, and the permit for long guns is a lifetime permit, but the one for handguns is only good for 90 days, and they only allow you to purchase a handgun, one for every 30 days. New Jersey has an assault weapons ban, and magazines are limited to 10 rounds. NFA items are prohibited in New Jersey, and there are a few exceptions to this, but you pretty much can't have them there. If you're wanting to buy a gun here, you may have to wait in line. They have a whopping 565 FFL holders in the whole state. That works out to one for every 15,720 residents. Unemployment in New Jersey was 10.9% in August of 2020, and in August of 2019, it was 3.5%. $100 here is worth $88.57. New Jersey ranks number 42 for cost of living. Number 3, California. The Golden State is one of those states most people think of when you say the worst states for gun owners, and no surprise here, it's at number 3. California, much like Illinois, is one of those states that wouldn't be anti-gun if you didn't have all the idiots in a few big cities making the laws for the whole state. California is a May issue state with only 0.3% of the population having carry permits. They're another one of those states that recognize no other state's permits. California has a boatload of crappy gun laws, like the handgun roster, background checks for ammo, assault weapons ban, and magazine limits, but that one's in limbo right now, so maybe it will get thrown out. NFA items are a no-go in California. Well, that is unless you are the film industry, and it's okay, I guess. Open carry is permitted here with a permit, but only in counties with a population of less than 200,000, and there's some other restrictions on that too. You might want to check that out. A firearm safety certificate is required to purchase firearms, and California has a 10-day waiting period. All private sales require a background check. There's one gun store in California for every 4,613 residents. Unemployment was 11.4% in August of 2020, and in 2019 it was 3.9%. $100 there is worth $87.11. California is ranked number 49 for cost of living. Number 2, New York. The Empire State really sucks for gun owners, and even worse if you live in New York City. New York is a May issue state with only 1.03% of the residents having a carry permit, and they don't honor any other state's CCW permits. New York has all of the draconian gun laws, including pistol purchase permits, handgun registration, assault weapons ban, mags are limited to just 10 rounds, bans on all NFA items, and this list just keeps going. If you want to see just how bad it is here, just look up the New York SAFE Act. In New York, there's one gun shop for every 4,653 residents. Unemployment in New York remains high at 12.5% in August of 2020 and 3.9% in August of 2019. $100 here is worth a whole $86.36. New York is ranked number 48 for cost of living. Number 1, Hawaii. The Aloha State sucks for gun owners to live in almost every way. Well, other than the beautiful beaches and weather, so you do have that going for it. Hawaii says they're a may issue state, but everywhere I read says they've never actually even issued a permit to a regular citizen. And they don't honor any other states, of course. Hawaii is another one of those states with all the restrictions the gun banners want, and I'm not even going to list them here because it's basically the same as the last 2 states. Now, there is a total of 300 FFLs in Hawaii, so that works out to 1 for every 4,719 residents. Unemployment is high in Hawaii in August of 2020 at 12.5%, but most of their jobs there are in tourism, so we know how bad that industry's been hit right now. But back in August of 2019, it was just 2.7%. Your $100 there is only worth $84.39. Hawaii is ranked number 50 for cost of living. Now, all of the states on this list did have a red flag law, so that's why that wasn't mentioned in every state. And I got all my information from websites like USCCA, Gun Trust Lawyer, of course, the Bureau of Labor Statistics for the unemployment. Of course, the population was from the Census Bureau's thing, estimate for 2019. And then the FFLs was from the ATF. And I'll put links to some of these websites down in the description below, so you can check them out if you want to. As far as how I got to these numbers, I made up my own point system with the gun laws and just ranked them from bad to worst and added different point amounts for each thing they had. And then did all that adding and then ranked in the economic factors. And then that's how they placed, where they placed on this list. But if you don't agree, make sure you leave a comment below and tell me why you think I screwed up. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.